welcome back to Sharing the Love. Today we're sharing the love with the beautiful Sunflower Summer Russell. Welcome.
Hi, my love. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for joining.
Thank you. I'm lovely.
Beautiful. So, on Lovely, could you please describe yourself with 5 words?
Warm, kind, bubbly,
Yes.
quirky. And I want to say black cat. I know it's not a word, but I just want to say black cat because I feel like that encapsulates me.
And out of those 5 words, which one speaks out to you the most in this current phase that you're in?
Warmth. I definitely feel like I'm stepping into a rising energy. I'm really resonating with the season of summer, almost as my name, and I'm chasing the light.
Alrighty, so it's time for our love bowl. You know the drill. Just say stop whenever you're ready.
Stop.
Oh, took two. Four. Alrighty. The topic for today is true success. What's the first thought that comes to mind when you hear the word true success?
Contentment. At the end of the day, success is what you make it when you lie your head down on the pillow or even at the end of your life. For some people, success has a dollar value. For some people, they find it in love. For some people, it's the measure of the friends that they have around them. And I feel like it is so personal to you. You find your contentment in the life that you're living. That's success.
Wow, definitely. And this is something that I preach so much is that the way that we were raised in this global society, that success is a one size fits all, when in fact it's not. And I love that you said that because contentment is based on your personal, unique needs, values, goals, aspirations, purpose. And so, how could success be a one size fits all?
As you evolve and you go through different phases in your life, you're going to have a different priority and a different measure for success. One year, you're just going to be focusing on having a family. Maybe one year, it's just healing. It's always going to change for you. And whatever that is, the bucket that you're feeling of success, as long as you can do it and be happy and find contentment in yourself at the end of the day.
Contentment comes with fulfillment. And when you talk about buckets, I just got this image, of filling those buckets. I read something the other day that said the true measure of success is a calm nervous system. And that to me spoke volumes because whatever that success looks like, if it gives you that calm nervous system, if it gives you that ability to put your head to sleep at night feeling like, oh, I love my life, what more do you want? My next question is, how do you incorporate the pursuit of true success in your decision-making process or your daily routine?
For me, I'm a big manifester. And I also like to visualize a lot when I meditate. I think about all the time, if this is my A, where is my B? And how can I close the gap between them to bring me back into alignment of where I'm going? And so that's incorporated into like my daily routines. I want to be someone that's meditating in the morning because I know how I show up in the world. I know how that affects everything else. I want to be someone that's taking care of my body. So I try go for a walk or a run in the morning, and then I incorporate something else, whether it's my yoga or my Pilates. I want to travel later this year. So that means I'm living in a budget of some sort of sense too. And I want to learn more. So it's the kind of books that I'm reading. It's really about knowing what kind of path that you're on or what path you want to be on and aligning everything to sort of get you there, to get you closer. We're just coming back to ourselves in all these senses too. And that's also the contentment. The more that you're close to yourself, I think the more fulfilled and happy that you're going to be. You're not living for someone else, right? So, yeah.
Definitely. That was a great answer. And I need to emphasize on the most important word that you said throughout your answer is alignment. And when you align your behaviors, your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, everything that kind of comes up towards that success, that's when you feel you are in the pursuit of your success while also maintaining, supporting yourself with the habits that align with your goals. And the other part of what you said is working backwards, like putting out a scheme of like, this is what I want to reach, this is what success looks like to me. And again, I want to re-emphasize that we're not reinforcing the idea that you're not successful now. You can be successful and want to improve. This is part of the human evolution. We're always constantly growing and ever evolving. So really figuring out, okay, what's the next step? Where's my area of improvement? What's the thing that I want? And then working backwards, what are the things that I need to do? Like the traveling, I need to budget. For my well-being, I need to work on my cup fillers. This is what I say. And one thing that I find a lot of our generation are lacking, right, in the sense of the cup fillers throughout your days, is making sure you're planning in the things that feed and sustain your pursuit of that success. It's worth facing whatever comes with it. And we talk a lot about the flow state, right? The most important part is not going against the grain. Emotions come up. One day you feel 1 week, you're just not there. Your energy is not there. You couldn't meditate. You couldn't budget. You couldn't do that. So fucking what? It's okay, but it's about picking yourself back up in pursuit of that true success, because you know that the fulfillment off the back of that, the contentment off the back of that, priceless.
We can get lost, but it's us who find ourselves again.
Yes.
It's always that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
My next question is, have there been shifts or changes in how you perceive true success as you've evolved and grown over the years?
For sure. And I definitely think that comes with age and growing up, and also realizing that you're the author of your own story. Maybe when I was younger, I was living in that sense of like validation for maybe what my mum wanted for me, or then what I thought was like great in society. Whereas now I'm living in this sense of presence, and I'm also getting drawn to what intuitively feels right for me and I can follow. And the more that I follow that, the more that I am in flow in my purpose, because I am the only one that would know what is best for me and what feels most fulfilling and content for me. And that just comes back to a lot of trust within yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we kind of touched on this in your first answer. Truly, it's that success could look like one thing for you now, and it could look like a whole different thing for you later. And there's no shame in that. It's so completely fine. I have a friend of mine who studied to be a doctor for 8 years and decided she didn't want to be a doctor. I have another friend who was a lawyer and ended up becoming a creative director. I feel this, as you said, there are external pressures that make us feel you need to be this, or if you've been in this lane, you need to stick to this lane. And it's like, no, why? Look at them now. My friends who left those jobs that they were taught by society or by their families that this is what they need to be doing, they are so free and they are excelling in what they are doing and impacting the world, because that's their true purpose. In saying that, part of the societal pressures kind of make us feel as we're growing up that, oh, you need to be a doctor, and that now that I have to be a doctor, this is my purpose. And it takes some time. I feel sometimes they find themselves after they graduate as a doctor, oh, I'm unhappy, I'm unfulfilled. Why is it? Until they realize that it's a misalignment between what their true purpose is and what they always thought or were taught that they are meant to be doing here.
We don't get taught the ability to be able to just discover ourselves, right? You are taught that as soon as you come out of school, you're meant to know exactly what you're put on this earth for and exactly what you're meant to be doing. And I really thank all the random little jobs and places I went to and people that I met over the past years that have taken me into these different routes. And I look back and I'm like, oh, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have done this, and I wouldn't have known this part of myself. And I understand how this has gotten me here. And that is such an important part of the journey. It's often not about the destination point, but what we learned on the way. We definitely don't give ourselves a chance to discover ourselves or to be able to try on different things and see how they fit.
again, it's not one mold that we fit in and that's it, and this is how we have to be. What I did hear though is both you and I do have the privilege, or have had the privilege, to be able to discover ourselves in a way that many do not, right? And I don't take that for granted, and I know you don't either. It's a blessing that we were able to discover and had the family or the friends to support that kind of discovery. However, I will say that even for those that don't feel privileged, this is where I need to emphasize choice. And I say this in almost every episode. Compassion and choice are the two things I keep mentioning every single time, because it's somehow we create this narrative that we don't have a choice. But you do have a choice. And it comes down to, are you going to give up your fulfillment and your contentment and what true success means to you? Or are you going to give up what others, that otherness, right, that is imposed onto you, that does not fit your unique mold? So this question is a bit of a creative, fun one. If True Success was a song title, what would it be and why?
Would be Vienna by Billy Joel. It's one of my favorite songs, and I play it anytime that life feels like it's a little bit lost or crazy. So it has this line that says, slow down, you're doing fine, you can be everything you want to be. I really think we need to learn how to like slow down and be present and trust that there is a greater unfolding happening and orchestrating behind us. And we need to give ourselves just a space to breathe and to let time do its thing as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
To recalibrate, to readjust, to kind of take a step back and reflect. One thing is, as we were saying, you know, that your success can change, and sometimes you just realize that at this part of my face, this is no longer aligned. You can make a decision to be like, let me take a step back and re-strategize, you know, what really works for me. But the other thing, the underlying notion in what I heard from your answer is expectation. Just expectation when it comes to success is like, it's all great if you're working towards it and you feel confident and you have the tools and the resources and the support and the knowledge that you need. But let's say it's a 50-50 probability you will not reach what you want to reach. It might look better, might look different, might look not anywhere near what you thought, but it's the knowing and the trusting of the unfolding of life. Because if there's one thing that we've learned, is that everything turns out all right. And every little thing is gonna be all right.
I should have said both.
My last question in regards to this topic is, what's one tip that you would give our audience on how to navigate or move towards true success?
Just do what feels right for you and what feels true for you. Because the waiting or the worrying of what other people may think has almost stopped me from everything. And I remember my mentor told me, she knew that I was writing and I was keeping it all into myself. And she's like, what's going to happen? Is the sky going to fall down? I realized that the only person that I really needed to get out the way was myself and my own mind. Sharing my art and sharing that into the world, all I thought was like, okay, if one person reads it, one person connects, one person doesn't feel alone, that's my job done. It was such an outpouring of love from that. And I think it is from the intention and the trust in myself that what needed to come out of me, I just needed to get out my own way. And the ones that will love you will stay. Most importantly, you just need to love you. That's what this life is about. Yeah.
And I will say two things to your point is, one, that all happens, like that tip of yours happens through reflection and intention of sitting down with yourself and really going inwards, not going outside, going within yourself to really figure out what that is and what that looks like. right? This is something that I don't feel we do enough of. Whenever I ask people, do you sit with yourselves? They're like, yeah, I'll watch Netflix, read a book, go for a walk. But do you sit with yourself and ask yourself, how are you today? How are you feeling? Where's that misalignment? What are you working towards? What are you trying to achieve? Those kinds of questions that truly go within, not without.
Like, how many breaths do you consciously just inhale and exhale? For most of the population, they have no idea. And that's how present we're being within our bodies. That's why embodiment is so important, because it is about the undoing of everything that we're being conditioned to believe about ourselves. So yeah, it's this constant journey back to alignment, but it's so worth it.
Yes.
It's so worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's definitely hard at the start because you're not used to it. And not you, as in me and you, have definitely done this work, and we're saying out of experience, it's not easy when you start, but it does get easier. And you start to get comfortable with the discomfort. And when I say comfortable, it's acceptance. And with true success getting there, it's the true acceptance of being in that state of flow, of being in that knowing, of just being present, as we said, just all the things that we were not taught how to do. And now it's like you're a baby, you're a kid, you're literally learning from the start. Be easy on yourself. You'll get there. Just have, again, that intention, that presence, that alignment. That's all you need. To start wrapping things up, what was your biggest takeaway from our conversation today?
Truly just remembering what true success means to me. I think that's really important. Even in my head, we can get so caught up, and we live in a hustle culture. Definitely in Sydney, it moves really fast as well. And the elitist status can kind of be thrown on us in, our society. Sometimes we need the reminder 1,000 times, even if it's in our knowing anyway.
Right.
So just to come back to that.
Because I was just listening to a podcast today, and he was basically saying on the Diary of a CEO, the one with Alain de Botton, if I said that correctly, but he was saying how we need that constant exposure to retain this information. So it's great for you audience who are watching this, or for you or for me, to have this reminder, but we need a constant reminder. Create a sticky note. Do anything that has a physical representation that you can look at every day to remind you of whatever it is that you need to remember, just to keep you in that alignment.
How we were just saying before with the importance of introspection, because we're always moving outwards, but I've been asking myself a lot of journal prompts lately, and I journal, but I don't journal prompt.
Right.
And it's been really interesting, and just re-meeting myself again. It's like when you read a book now compared to like when you read a book when you were 10, it lands so differently. Everything's integrating differently. So it's really important to re-meet yourself and recheck in and be like, okay, well, how do I feel about this with what I know now?
My last question for you is, where can our audience connect with you?
You can connect with me on Instagram at Summer Russell. I also have a website, so summerrussell.com.au. And I hope to hear from you.
I love it. Everyone needs to check this wonderful ray of Sunflower out, because the work that she puts in is truly not only inspiring, but heartfelt, real, raw, authentic. Just like this podcast, the work that we intend to put out there is just speaking our truth. Thank you so much for joining. This is Sharing the Love. Please like, comment, subscribe, the whole shebang. You know what to do. And we'll see you again in our next episode.